Over the years, we've seen increasing cases of rape. It is increasing every day. Children are raped, adults are raped, wives also are raped, like they claim. But today, we're going to be discussing rape and issues, the legal implications of rape in Nigeria, what the law in Nigeria stands for rape and the victims. I am Olachi Anyokwa, and this is 7 Legal. Let's go on a commercial break. We'll be right back.
For advert placement, you can call the number on your screen.
And you can visit our website at www.7fm.tv.
7TV Nigeria.
7TV, it's all about you. Welcome back. Who is the rapist? Who is the victim? What can be justified as rape in the context of Nigerian law? To discuss with me today is Barrister Chisom Ekwefi. You're welcome, Sam.
Thank you very much, Ola.
Thank you. This is a very, very important discussion owing to what is really going on in Nigeria today. Please, I want to understand, please, what is rape?
Okay. The concept of rape is defined in two major ways. Now, there is what I call the traditional definition of rape, and there is a recent definition of rape. But one thing we must know is that rape is a crime. It is a criminal offense, and the law provides, constitution provides, that for something to be called a crime in Nigeria, it must have been written down in a criminal book, or in a criminal code, or in any criminal law. It must have been criminalized. Now, rape has two major definitions. One that has been profiled by the Criminal Code and Penal Code on the one hand, and one that has been profiled by the Violence Against Persons Act. Violence Against Persons Act is a recent law, is a recent criminal law. Now, under the Criminal Code and the Penal Code, rape is defined by the penetration of the male penis into the female vagina without consent, or where such consent is obtained by fraud, misrepresentation, is obtained illegally. You understand? So that is on the one hand the criminal law and the penal code, whereas the Violence Against Persons Act made it broader in the sense that rape now becomes a penetration either with the penis or with any object capable of being used for penetration of the mouth, the vagina, or even the anus. So anybody under the Violence Against Persons Act can rape.
So if the person didn't go through the vagina and went through other means, basically say he or she is raped?
Yes, under the Violence Against Persons Act, which only 18 states currently has, only 18 states in Nigeria has adopted, the person can say to have been raped. But under the Criminal Code or Penal Code, which is of a general application throughout Nigeria, the only person who can rape is a man, and the only person who can be raped is a woman. So rape is a gender-specific offense. It is only a man that is capable of raping, and it's only a woman that's capable of being raped. And the medium at which that rape is complete is the penis and the vagina.
Okay, let's before we get on, we went out to the streets to hear the voices of Nigerians as regards to what they think about it. Let's watch it later.
The act of forcing someone you don't know, there's no agreement, there's no mutual agreement, and you force yourself into that person, that one is totally not acceptable.
Rape is when you forcefully or sexually assault somebody. It could be both sexes. A guy can rape a girl can rape a guy.
Me is an insult for you to rape a lady that she's not ready to give you. They can take them to jail.
When you talked about it is just a man that is meant to rape, we're listening to this. It's just a woman. Sorry, according to the criminal code. It's only a
Criminal
weak
code.
man that that's
capable of being
of being raped. Sorry.
Yes.
So I had someone say on the code that a man can be raped. Is this possible? A woman can rape a man. How is this? Is it possible for a man to claim I've been raped?
A man can claim to have been assaulted under the criminal code and under the penal code. He can claim to have been assaulted.
Okay.
So, under these laws, a man cannot claim to have been, cannot say that, oh, I've been raped. But under the Violence Against Persons Act, which, like I told you, has been adopted in only 18 states, a man can say, yes, a woman can rape a man. But it has to be with an object, either penetrating the mouth, or the anus, or the vagina.
Okay, some people will say that, but she didn't do anything, and she just came in, and she didn't even freeze. She didn't even shout, or she wasn't shouting. If she was shouting, we have known that she was raped. So, is there any reaction that a woman should give, either by screaming or attacking, to know that she's being raped, or if she didn't do any of these actions, she's not raped? Is there any lawful way of responding to rape?
Oh, okay. The actions that go on during rape only helps to prove that rape has happened.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that with or without those actions that rape cannot happen. The main underlying factor of rape is consent, is lack of consent. Which means that consent in the terms of having sex must be unequivocal. It must be full. It must be complete. A woman must be willing to say, yes, I want to sleep with you. Let us have sex together. It is her body. You understand? So that is it's not necessarily, it has nothing to do with necessarily the reaction, whether or not she shouted. What if she was drugged? What if her mouth was taped? What if she was under the influence of alcohol? You understand? So it's the action that happens. Maybe she now falls, crash, scream, people gathered, only helps to prove it. But it doesn't define, it doesn't say whether or not rape happened.
Coming to the prove it you're talking about, someone will say I've heard. I think I watched an interview where a policeman was saying the earlier you report a rape case, the easier it is for it to be proven. Is there a time duration that if it has stayed for this long, it will not be proven again? Is there a time duration for the law? And is it true that if you report it early, it can be?
Okay, rape, like every criminal case, does not have a status of limitation. There is no amount of time that you say, okay, this thing has stayed now, we cannot go to court. The only thing is that in rape cases or in cases of rape, if you delay, evidences are lost. Why do I say evidences are lost? If a woman is raped, immediately after the rape, before she takes her bait, she should go to the hospital and get herself examined. There would be medical evidences to prove that this girl was raped. There might be bruises in the vagina. Of course, because it was without consent, the body has a way of acting along line with what you want. The body will not secrete a fluid. So the sex is going to be rough. There will be evidences in the vagina that, okay, this is conclusive that this sex wasn't consensual. You understand? So it helps. If you report it immediately, it helps you to prove the case because you can get evidences. You can gather medical evidences to support it while it's still early.
Okay, so talking about rape and evidences and assault, I've seen in trends, Twitter, Instagram, maybe that a woman comes and says, my husband raped me. Is this possible for somebody's wife to be raped by the husband? Why are you laughing? I've seen this over and over saying, he raped me, I didn't want sex today, and he just forced me and pushed me. So is it possible for a woman, a wife, to be raped by the husband?
No, generally it's not possible. In Nigerian law, generally it's not possible for a wife to have claimed that her husband has raped her. Why? Now, the concept of consumption is the sum total of rights that you find in marriage from a married couple. Part of consumption is that a woman who is married and maybe has divorced can be using her divorced husband's name, provided she's not using the name to perpetuate fraud.
Okay.
It is part of the things, the legal rights she got from that marriage. So part of the legal rights individuals get, or a man and a woman get by being married together, is the right to each other's body.
Okay.
Is the right to each other's body. You have a right to each other's body. So the man's body is the woman's body, and the woman's body is the man's body.
So you cannot claim
So,
that.
Yes, you cannot. A woman cannot claim that her husband has raped her, because legally your husband cannot rape you. Your husband can assault you.
Okay, so
Yes.
is there a difference between rape and assault?
Of course, there is a difference between rape and assault.
I want to know.
Okay.
What?
Now, when a guy walks up here and you guys are talking and without your consent he presses your breast, he has not raped you.
He has
He
assaulted.
has only assaulted you. If he touches your vagina,
Okay.
touches you sexually, maybe even use a dildo, under the criminal code and penal code, he has only assaulted you. Yes.
So if a woman wants to ask for justice
Yes.
for being assaulted sexually, is it
Yes.
possible? And how can she go about it if her husband is fond of assaulting her?
Yeah, she can go about it the same way every other person can go about claiming.
Can it be proved? Because she's a wife, your
Of
husband
course,
can
now
ask.
it can be proved. It can be proved. You know, we are in the era these days where we see violence in families, in homes. It's a ground. It can be a ground for divorce. The girl can use because of that and say, oh, you know what, I'm done with this marriage. I want a way out. You understand? He can go to the police, make reports, you know, they will come and do investigations and all.
So talking about investigations, why is it that we've noticed, actually, we've noticed that a lot of rape cases in Nigeria failed, apart from the recent of Kerry's an international community, and because and Baba Ijesha, who, because he is a rapist, he is because he is a celebrity, and the person that reported it is also a celebrity. People think that was why they gave them listening ear and it was actually followed. But why does rape cases in Nigeria fail?
Okay. The first reason why rape cases fail in Nigeria is, number one, there is the concept of shame.
Okay.
There is the concept of shame. The victims, who are mostly ladies, are always victimized for complaining that they've been raped. But that is not the way out. So you see a lady, she has just been raped, but she cannot tell anybody. She cannot even say it. Because what will society think? What will society say? What will people do? You understand? So there is that on one side.
Okay.
And there is also the societal misunderstanding and pressure that comes from the law enforcement officers. I have heard stories of a girl who has gone to report rape. This is even a popular person. She said it. She said it in one of her interviews that she was raped. Her boyfriend raped her. So she went to she was raped in her boyfriend's house. So she went to the police station to report. And what the police officer, who was a lady, was asking her was, did you enjoy it?
That's what they asked. Did you enjoy it?
So there is the demonization of victims of rape. So it doesn't help them speak out. And the way people look at them, see this one, what is she even wearing? Look at why she's naked. Why won't she be raped? What is she doing in a house full of 20
So you
men?
say a man can't be justified for raping because a woman is dressed indecently?
No, there is no justification for rape. There is no justification whatsoever for rape. People are entitled to the privacy of their body, to do with their body what they choose to do with it. You cannot take advantage of a person's body and you think it's okay. This is a serious issue because it creates both emotional damage, psychological damage to the victims involved. Their life pattern is altered automatically by that one single incident. And you cannot say because she has dressed in a certain way, if she dressed in a certain way, dress in your certain way too. And probably she's not doing the dressing for you. Look away. If you're not comfortable, look away. Nothing justifies the act of rape.
Nothing justifies the act of rape. So what would you tell leaders who, okay, let's even go down to, let's talk about the people who rape children. I think there should be an increased level of case or judgment against them.
I think rape in itself has one of the biggest penalty rates in Nigeria.
Oh wow.
Yes. When you are found guilty of rape, you go in for life imprisonment. For some laws, they say with or without caning. But the basic punishment is life imprisonment. You go to prison for life for raping. So that goes to show you how serious the crime of rape is. You go in for life. You understand? So people who rape children, it's socially evil, it's heinous that one wants to rape a child. And it doesn't even help matter if the person said, oh, the child agreed. Maybe a 10-year-old girl, a 15-year-old, 14-year-old girl, yeah, she has breast and, and she came, she started seducing you, she cannot give you consent. Even if she say, yes, sleep with me, she cannot give you consent because she has not reached the age to give consent. So if you must sleep with a child who is begging you to sleep with a child, go and collect consent from the parents.
Okay, to wrap this up almost, there are people who have raised false alarm that they were raped and they were not really raped. Probably they are seeing this guy and they want to punish this guy, and we've seen it in different places. Outside Nigeria, but a celebrity, you want to extort money. Is there a punishment for that kind of false alarm of rape?
Not just of rape. You understand? Not just of rape. There are a lot of legal remedies, generally, for someone whose name has been defamed, because this is also defamation. You understand? If you come today and say, oh, you raped me, and we went to court because I know, of course, I didn't rape you, we did the subject to every test and you cannot prove, and we know that maybe tomorrow you now come to say, oh, I just wanted to punish him, I will sue you for defamation. I will sue you for defamation, I will sue you for character assassination, I would, make sure I get justice for myself. You understand? So there are remedies, there are things to be done against such people.
So what do you tell people who have been raped? How do they go about this getting justice legally and getting what they deserve? And how do you tell people who like, when I come to you and say I've been raped, how do you tell people to respond to that kind of incident and not make the person say this one has sports, they finish raping and so first of all, how do we get justice for people who has been raped? And people come to complain and say, this guy raped me, this guy raped me, what are you telling them to do so that these things will be reduced in the society?
Okay, first of all, to people who have been raped, if you've just been raped, I want you to know one thing, it is not your fault. And I want you to know the second thing, you deserve justice. And you should do everything you must do to get justice. And what are those things you should do to get justice? The first thing you do after being raped is to take yourself to the hospital, report, get yourself examined, go to the police station, report the matter, report the name of the person who has raped you. We know that it's not really easy how society would look at you, but the truth is that society is looking at you regardless. Whether or not you are raped, they have opinions, in the back of their mind about you. So make sure you do everything within your powers to ask for justice for yourself. And for people who are handling people who have been raped, you should know one thing, be human. Be human. Know that this can happen to anybody. And these people has not brought this upon themselves. They are raped because the men who raped them are evil, are criminals. That is why this is a crime. The people who raped them are criminals. There is nothing that suffers to protect it. Even the one they call corrective rape. Maybe they call two girls making out and say, oh, you people are lesbians now. Let us now bring your boys so that they will sleep with you and teach you how to be straight. It's wrong. it is wrong.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. He said something very profound. If you've been raped, it is not your fault, and you deserve justice. And also, people, when someone comes to you to say, I have been raped, just know, just be human, because that's another act. If you have been involved in rape, you can go to any lawyer, any police stations, or immediately report justice. This is 7 Legal, and here we educate you on your rights and privileges and give you legal interpretations to real life events. I am Olachi Anikwa. Do have a blessed day. I'll see you next week.